Hi, this is Ivan, and you are at Wild Pacific Northwest, and I'm going to talk a little bit, hopefully very briefly, about gear that you can use out in the field when you're acting as a naturalist, when you're out there running around looking for animals, plants, interesting rocks, whatever it is you're interested in as a naturalist. You might want to have certain things in the field with you. Now, you may know this already. This might be stuff you already know, but that's okay. If you're new to being a naturalist, then I hope this will be helpful to you. Now, minimally, I would say what you want to do is enhance your own personal experience of nature when you're out there. That just bare minimum. And what would you use to do that? So the first thing, minimally, I would say that you would want would be a good pair of binoculars. Binoculars obviously allow you to see a lot farther, and so you're going to be able to experience things that you might not otherwise be able to experience by using a pair of binoculars. You can see animals, birds, dragonflies, butterflies, things from far away that you might startle if you move too close. So, you know, if you're a birder already, then I'm preaching to the choir, you don't care about this or you already know it, but basically if you can invest in a good pair of binoculars as opposed to a cheap pair of binoculars, I mean, I've had this kind of pair of binoculars for years, you know, kind of $50 deal. They work okay, and if that's all you can do, that's great too. But if you can shell out several $100s minimally, I mean, the cost is not what is important here, but it's the quality. But in general, you're going to spend $200 on up for a good pair of binoculars. I recently got these myself, and it's sort of just changed my perception of things, and it's blown my mind. So, highly recommended, good pair of binoculars. Okay, so in terms of enhancing your experience, it's nice to know what it is you're seeing when you're out there. So taking field guides is kind of standard practice for naturalists. Now these things are heavy. It's kind of like a little mini brick, and so you don't want to carry too many of these if you're hiking a long ways or something. But this one is about plants, this one's birds. These are kind of my default ones that I take, but obviously there's lots of different field guides, and it depends on what you're outside doing. Field guides are very nice because you can learn what it is you're looking at while you're there, and you can make that strong connection with what you're seeing to what you know you're looking at. You can give it a name, so that's important. So you've got field guides. Let's see, camera, of course. So it's nice to document what it is you see and bring memories back. Obviously, or hopefully it's obvious that you shouldn't be taking things from nature. Basically, you know, if you can just take pictures, you know, take only pictures rather than taking animals and plants home, then that's a great thing. But a camera gives you, you know, all kinds of great opportunities to create really beautiful photographs as well as document the things you have for later reference, which is great. Along the lines of documenting things, a GPS unit is actually really handy. If you have a good GPS unit, you can, you know, if you see some interesting bird or animal or plant that you think others might be interested in, or if you think it's worthwhile documenting the location of it, put in your GPS and then you'll know where that thing was and you can map it out or share that location with other individuals. Also, you can carry a voice recorder. I do this often. If you hear a bird call that you're not familiar with, you can record it and then you can play it back later and listen to bird calls online or frog calls, anything like that. Also, you can take your own notes with a digital recorder. Just walk around and talk into your voice recorder, and that might be faster and more efficient for you than writing. And of course, along the lines of notes, notebooks, very handy for keeping records of various things you observe, from the weather conditions to the geology to, you know, just your thoughts and feelings about what it is you're seeing, as well as lists of species. So a notebook is very important if you want to be a sort of practicing naturalist, is to document what it is you're seeing. Notebook, and obviously there's different sizes of notebooks, and you can measure things. So you have, you know, I usually carry like a little ruler around with me or measuring tape, and those are things that I can get sizes, you know, the height of a plant or the length of an insect or something. So those are nice measurements to have, because when you look at a photograph, it's not always clear what the reference or what the size is. So that's important. These days, things are changing rapidly in the world of technology, and I do carry my smartphone with me now. And I don't use a whole lot of apps out in the field yet, but I see that changing soon. I'll probably be getting some of the bird apps, and there's wildflower apps and all those kinds of things. And this has a GPS signal in it, so there's really a lot of possibility here, and you may find that that's something you want to carry with you in the field. And let's see what else. Well, you know, a knife. I mean, this starts to get into the world of sort of outdoor gear, and that's not really what I'm talking about right now. But you know, I just thought I'd throw it in here. Have a knife. You know, you can, I don't know, whatever. You know, you can, whatever it is you do with a knife. You know, it's for protection. It's for just a generally useful tool in the outdoors. Now I have what I call my Naturalist bag, and I like to carry this in the field as long as I'm not carrying too much other stuff. This is a really great thing to have because I can put my field guides in here. I can put all of this stuff in here and just wear it over my shoulder, and it's really convenient when I'm out in the field. And I actually use little clips. I don't have any on here now, but I clip them to my belt loop so it doesn't slide around too much. But basically that's really handy. I've got a little thermometer on there and a compass, you know, just for more information that I can get in terms of the temperature. That's important to a lot of animals, for example. And of course, if you start getting into serious long-term outdoor adventures, you start getting into the world of hiking and backpacking, and then there's a whole lot of other gear that you would take in order to be safe and comfortable in the outdoors, and that's kind of what the knife was an example of. But basically that's kind of seems like a lot of stuff, and of course you don't need all of that every time you go out, but those are the basic things I usually try to carry with me in addition to kind of more elaborate camera gear or whatever. But the idea is to have a great time, appreciate what you see, understand what you see, and try to integrate that, and maybe take some notes when you get home, kind of process it and share it with other people, or just have for your own reference for the future. So hopefully that was interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.